Hey everybody, looks like I'm having a few technical difficulties with my camera. Let me see if I can add it in here really quick. Sorry about that. Always fun when when we're going live. Anything can happen, right? All right, give me 1 second, everybody. Well, you know what? We might just skip the camera for today, and we'll go right into our demo because you don't really need my face for anything. All right, you can see my screen. Looks like my microphone is working. All right, sorry for the technical difficulties. Always fun when things don't work. That's technology, I guess. All right, so this week for Back to Viz Basics, this is our week 8 challenge, and we are building histograms. If this is your first time joining one of our how-to videos, what we do in this is I kind of go through just our challenge, how to participate, how to submit, any updates, and then we'll get into actually building the chart for this week. So everything that you need to know about Victory says it's kind of low, Eric. Let me see. Hopefully, I don't know. I might have to re-record this, but we'll keep rolling with it. Everything that you need to know about our challenge is here in our Back to Viz Basics website. So our previous challenges are linked here. Our current challenges are linked here. And we do have our schedule in here as well as a suggestion box, and you'll want to check out the tips. So with every week, Shreya releases some tips and tricks around how to build different types of charts that live on her website, and this is a great resource of how you can continue to make your charts better. And don't forget that we want you to submit your visualizations. So this submission tracker lives on my Tableau Public page. This is a dashboard that I have there. So make sure that you're submitting your visualizations. This is a great tracker just to keep your own progress, but then it's also a great resource to see how you have, maybe 5 different ways that individuals have built a histogram for this challenge, or, you can see how people take the same data and visualize it in a different way. I do have a few other announcements. Let me pull up our Slack here. So, announced at Tableau Conference, there is now a Tableau community Slack. This is open to everyone and anyone to join. So this is a great way to get connected with the rest of the data fam. There are a lot of different channels here that you can join. Specifically, I'm excited about our Back to Viz Basics channel that we have. So you'll want to go ahead and join that. And since I have this pulled up here, I am also excited to announce that Victory Omavra is joining our Back to Viz Basics team. So she is a Tableau Public Ambassador. She has multiple Vizes of the day. She's been a Tableau featured author. And she has been such a light in the community recently, always uplifting others, promoting work, sharing work. And if you haven't checked out her Tableau Public profile, make sure you check that out as well because it is excellent. But yeah, once you join here, continue to share your visualizations, post them here. Everything that you need to know about our project is also listed on the canvases here within Slack. So this is a great way just to stay in touch with all the different resources that we have, all the different links out to videos and tips and our different pages. And then we also link our challenges here as well. So you'll want to check that out. Always open to ideas, so continue to share them. Please join the Slack channel. All right, let's get into our challenge for this week. So we're building histograms. Now, this is right after Tableau Conference. We had a great time, and what we wanted to do was kind of highlight some other tools that other folks have created in the community. So our data for this week is totally fictional. It's a totally made-up data set. It is not real, but it was generated using Data Mockstar, which is a GPT-powered tool created by Adam Mico. I don't know about you, but when I work with dummy data, sometimes it takes a while to create, but let's go. I'm just going to do like a quick demo of Data Mockstar, and I'm just going to prompt it here and say, build me an HR data set. And right away, the GPT will try to ask me a few questions. What's the domain that you're looking for? Any specific fields that you want? So name, employee ID, department, role, salary. I'm not going to read through all this, but it will always generate 1,000 rows for you. And it's going to give us an example of what our table will look like, which I love. So I can go through here and say, okay, yep, I think this looks good. This kind of captures everything that I want to use in my dummy data set. And then once the GPT is done creating this, I can say, okay, this looks good. Go ahead and generate the whole data set for me. I can't explain how huge of a lift off, trying to create demo data sets and what are some different fields that we should include, right? Data Mockstar does all of this for you, which I think is great. So then it'll ask, if this data structure looks good, any edits that you want to make, or can I generate the full data set? It will give, after it generates the whole data set, it will give you a downloadable CSV to go ahead and build your dashboard off of. So huge shout out to Adam. Adam has multiple GPTs here that you can connect to. And play around with, but Data Mockstar is by far my favorite, and I think this is a huge win for the data community. All right, I think that kind of covers all of our housekeeping items. Again, sorry about the video not working and all that stuff, but at least my microphone and the demo is working. All right, so let's go ahead in and talk about how to build histograms. So here is our data set that we're working with. I think, let me just make sure my, screens are kind of all crazy today. Like I said, we're live, so literally anything can happen. All right, so let's take a look at our data. So we're working with a teenager screen time mock data set, totally fake. So we have different age groups here. I think we have about 3 different age groups within our data. We have a gender column, their weekly screen time in hours. So that is coming in as a numeric field. That looks correct to me. And then we have another categorical value here of our device type. So smartphones, laptops, game consoles, tablets. All right. So our data is coming in okay. I think everything looks good. We could add some other calculations to this if we wanted to enhance our data set, but I'm happy with how this looks. So let's go ahead into our sheet 1 and start building out our histogram. So histograms group continuous data into bins to show distribution. So how can we build one of these? I think sometimes this is a little bit confusing to folks on how to start to build one. So if we go to show me and I hover over the histogram, right, it just says, okay, we need one measure to build a histogram, and it's going to create a bin field. So what we're going to do is we have our continuous measure here of our weekly screen time in hours. We want to create this into a bin. And when I say bin, it's essentially we're grouping this into categorical buckets. So, maybe it's 0 to 5 hours, 5 to 10 hours, 10 to 15 hours, right? That's what we're taking our continuous data and kind of grouping it into categorical data. Might not be the correct term, but that's at least the way that I like to describe it. So I'm going to click down on this drop down arrow here. And I'm going to go to create, and I'm going to select bins. And we get the screen that pops up here, and Tableau is going to just prompt me, what do we want to name this bin? What's the size of the bin? It will automatically suggest a bin size based off of kind of the range of values that you have. I'm just going to select OK for now, and then we can come in later and adjust this. So right away, this creates a new bin field for me. Now what we have to do is we drag this out to columns. Now, right away, you will notice that this is discrete data, right? It's creating headers, columns for us. We probably want to turn this into continuous. So I'm going to right click on this and turn it into continuous. And then we're going to just bring out our row count here and put that on rows. And now you can see that it has grouped our total data set by counting our records into our bins for weekly screen time hours. So we have our weekly screen time hours bin going across our x-axis here, and then we have the count of our individuals that make up those bins. So if I hover here, our bin size here is 16.8 hours roughly, right? And we're saying that 12 members of our data fall within that bin, where 38.4 or 97 members fall within 38.4 hours. Now, I don't really like how these bins are rounded, so I might go in here and edit our bin size. So I'm going to go to right click on it and select edit, And let's just change this to 5 for now. So we're going to keep it like a nice whole number and just count by 5. And now we can see here how it's adjusted. So 7 folks fall within 10 hours. 138 folks fall within 30 hours of screen time in a week. Wow, look at this. 194 individuals fall within 40 hours of screen time. That is quite a lot, right? So again, I know this is a totally fake data set, but this kind of feels a little bit realistic, right? All right, let's talk about some ways that we can enhance this a little bit further. So now that we've created in our bin, we've adjusted our bin size. So I think choosing a bin size that reveals patterns is a little bit better. So we don't want something that's too small like we had before. We had a lot of different bars, and we definitely don't want something that's too large where this only groups it into 2 or 3 categories. This shows a nice equal distribution. I think this is a good size that we chose here. Always want to make sure that our axis is starting at 0. So we're representing the distribution accurately, which it is here. So I wouldn't go ahead and play around with this. You know, if we change this to 10 or something, right, we would lose these folks down here. So starting it at 0 is a good idea to keep in mind. We can adjust the axes a little bit just to make our tick marks a little bit clearer, but I think the way that this is coming through looks good. One enhancement that I would probably make is writing a calculation to grab the min and max of your bins, right? So right now, right, this is just 30 to 35 in here. So that's kind of our bin range. But maybe we write a calculation so when I hover, it doesn't just show 30. It says, 30 to 35 hours. We have 138 folks in that fall into that category. So that's something that I would keep in mind as well. Color, right? We probably want to stick to, I would suggest doing color in 2 ways, keeping it just a solid color like this, or in a second we can write a calculation to color that highest bar a certain color. I would avoid, adding color like this. I think this is a little bit misleading because, we're representing the same type of distribution here. So as our bins get smaller or larger, our color gets lighter. So kind of having the color on here is a little bit repetitive and a little bit misleading. So it's like, what does the height of the bar mean versus what does the color mean? So I don't think we need to do something like this. I think keeping it a solid color like this will work. Or we can write a calculated fields. I think everybody can see this, right? So we'll call this our color bar. We're just going to say if the window max of our count field equals our count field, then label that as color, else no color, and we'll end that. And now when I drop this on our bar, right, it's going to color our highest one color. I'm just going to turn off our tooltip for now. Definitely go in and edit your tooltips. I'd probably come in here and edit these colors. So maybe our no color gets a lighter gray, and then our color gets a, we'll go with this dark blue here, something like this. Now you can see that our bars, kind of overlap a little bit. So I might just want to come in here and add like a white border. So we kind of have that separation. All right, so I think this is looking pretty good, but we do have these other options up here. So right now, this is just our total distribution for all of our age groups, all of our device types, and all of our genders. All right, we could add these as filters. So maybe, we just create these as like a radial button. So I'm going to show our filter, change this to like a radio button, right? And now I can see how this dynamically changes. I'm going to add our labels in here. Bit bigger. So I do like this feature, but right, we could always make this almost into like a trellis chart or a panel chart by adding our device type maybe to columns, right? So now we break this distribution out, and you'll notice that now our coloring isn't working as expected, right? So we do need to come down here and edit this table calculation. So I believe we need to change it to our bins, so it calculates it at each bin, and now that labeling is looking correct. Maybe we just label our min and max, or we just label the maximum value. All right, now I can also add my age group to our rows. let's remove our age group filter here. All right, so this is pretty cool now, right? We're kind of building this out a little bit further. So now we've got this like trellis chart type of effect. Again, we might want to come down here and fix our labels. So now that we've made the size of this a little bit smaller, we've lost some of our labels. So maybe we want to go in there and edit the min and max for our tick marks here. Right, but this is very quickly I can go in and I can see for our age range, our different age ranges and our different device types where our distribution is following, where our distribution is falling. So really interesting to see here for 18 and 19-year-olds, they're almost up at, it looks like 50 to 60-ish or 50 to 55 hours per week. Where if we go down to like a younger age group right there, they're down here more in the 35 to 40 range. Still very high based off of our data set. And again, we can add in our gender filter. Let's show this filter and turn this into a radio button, right? And now we can see how this shifts based off of our different genders. All right. So there you have it. That is all that we have time today for our how-to. Again, sorry that my video did not work. And looks like I might have to check my audio. Victory said some overlapping voices. So, maybe I'll have to record this and upload it again. Not sure what's happening with everything, but always seems like when streaming, things always get wild. But thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to create your visualizations, share in Slack, share on social media, and submit your creations through our tracker. And we'll see you in a few weeks for our week 9 challenge. Thank you and have a great day.